the US has gone ahead and imposed sanctions against Turkey for its deal with Russia over S-400 supply. Turkey acquired these S-400s the other day, and the US immediately imposed sanctions. It also went ahead and said all the allies and friendly countries, if they enter into such deals with Russia, will also attract these sanctions under CAATSA provisions. Now, CAATSA is countering America's adversaries through Sanctions Act. That is what is CAATSA, and this was enacted in the US in 2017 under Trump. Now, why should India be worried about this? The US warning is against any big ticket deal with the Russians, any major defense deal. And the S-400 deal that the Indians are seeking and have entered into with Russia is a $6 billion one, and this is bound to fall under this category. Now, what are S-400s? S-400 is an integrated air defense system with radars, command and control equipment, and missiles. 4 missiles are fitted there with each system. These 4 missiles are cruise missiles as well as ballistic missiles. These 4 types of missiles have a range of 40 kilometers to 400 kilometers. They can shoot down not only aircraft, drones, but also incoming missiles like cruise missiles and ballistic missiles again. Now, Indian Air Force says this is a crucial one and a game changer as far as India is concerned in any skirmish or a war with Pakistan and China. So, India needs it. Now, why is it important for India to acquire S-400s? India faces a two-front war situation when it comes to that, with both China and Pakistan coming together. This is a possibility, whether a distant possibility, as a real possibility or a near possibility is not known, but there is always a possibility of China and Pakistan coming together and attacking us. So, India feels that S-400s are a must for it in dealing with at least the western front. S-400s may not be that useful, say, in the Himalayan heights, but here, as far as Pakistan is concerned, these S-400s, along with the Rafales that we have acquired, could be very useful. That is what the IAF experts says. Now, why should the US be blind about our needs, our defense system, our defense mechanisms, or our security considerations? Turkey is a different proposition altogether. Turkey is entirely different for several reasons. One, Turkey is a NATO ally. India is not. Secondly, Turkey has already been supplied with F-35s, the 5th generation stealth combat aircraft of the US. At least 100 such aircraft are there with Turkey. Now, the Americans fear that along with the supply of S-400s, Turkey may also invite Russian experts who naturally come there to teach them all about the S-400 usage, and such people might later lay their hands on F-35. This is a fear because America doesn't want its technology to go into the hands of anyone else, least of all the Russians. Now, as was said, India is not a NATO member and it's a very good friend of the US. The ties between the two countries are only growing, what with Quad and other things that are on now. And India is key to the US strategy in South Asia and Indo-Pacific region. The US doesn't want China to grow in stature here and wants to cut down its hegemony plans in this region, as this is a crucial region for them. So for US global positioning, India is key as far as this region is concerned. The US has a problem with Russia too, because it feels that Russia is getting more and more belligerent, particularly under Putin. It has already annexed Crimea, and right from Crimean annexation to, say, the perceived interference of the Russians with the American elections, the US is worried and fears Russian interference in everything. So it doesn't like Russians growing in stature anywhere. S-400 deals are such which can proliferate and give that kind of a positioning to Russians which against the interests of the US. So it says don't go for such deals with Russia. As far as maintenance and supply of spare parts are concerned, it's okay, you can acquire them, you can continue those things because these are old deals, you need those things, continue them as long as you need them, not beyond a point. So that the Russian dependency is totally cut down and you come out of it and we take care of your needs. So that's one way. CAATSA provisions won't look into that, so you don't have to worry, but no big ticket deals. That's what it says. Now, for India to say no to Russia at this point is a real big headache. We have already entered into a deal and we need to complete the deal. We need those equipment, the S-400s at our borders as soon as possible with the current scenario with China or say Pakistan. We need it. We need to acquire that at the earliest. India's dependence on Russia or its deals with Russia in the past or present are not of its own making, we can say. India has in fact pleaded with the West and the US to supply their latest weaponry to India, but all of them refused to do so in the past. It was then that India started depending on Russia. Russia became key to the modernization plans of its army, navy, air force, etc. So Indians started depending on Russia since then, since the Cold War days. Now the Americans say, you cut off completely such deals. Cutting off such deals is one thing. First of all, Indo-Russian friendship itself is not up to the mark. We are having problems with the Russians now because they are getting closer to China and as well as Pakistan because of their interest in Afghanistan. The US troops are pulling out of Afghanistan and hardly 7,000 to 8,000 troops are there. Once they also go away, Russia comes back. And when it comes back to Afghanistan, it will be depending on Pakistan. So in such a scenario, what kind of friendship India and Russia could cultivate and take it to what levels and what heights in future is a big question mark. So the US need not worry about it. In fact, the US as well as India are interdependent. US needs India for all its plans in South Asia and Indo-Pacific as stated earlier, and India needs some negotiating skills here to convince the US about its dire need. And the US needs patience there, a lot of patience. India and US can always go ahead and find a way in this matter.